My name is Miguel from the Mobile Mechanic 757. So today we're going to do a 2010 Dodge Caravan 3.3. One of the symptoms the customer was having is the vehicle was shaking. So one of the things you should always do is check the spark plugs. The spark plug has not been changed. You can see the condition of it. And we're going to show you one of the new spark plugs, what it should look like. It's just a simple thing of maintenance. You don't have to spend a bunch of money doing all this. This is what it's supposed to look like. Always buy the Iridium plugs or the OEM plugs. And as you can see, the plug right here has a skinny point. This is what's supposed to be in the vehicle. And this is what was in the vehicle. This is a very cheap plug. And you can see it hasn't been done in quite some time. With this particular vehicle, it has wires. It does not have coil packs. It has wires. So all you have to do is replace the new wires while you're doing the tune-up. Do it right the first time. On this particular vehicle, that is your ignition coil right here. Instead of having coil packs, this actually fires 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, or whatever the firing order is. It fires. So we're going to pull one off, and we're going to show you a quick way of doing this. I like to use pliers that has this edge due to the fact when you're pulling these apart, they like to rip in pieces. So I don't want to do that. You can buy these at Harbor Freight, a whole entire set for $10, $15. So we're going to grab this one right here, the very edge. You're going to take this tip right here, and you're going to grab around it, and you're going to go back and forth like this until it actually moves. It's going to be stiff at first, and then all I like to do is smack it on the exhaust backwards, and it pops right off. The second thing, you do it one at a time. You don't just rip them all off because you want to know the firing order. The second thing you want to do is get your 5/8 wrench socket, and this fits perfectly for the spark plug. And all you have to do is take this with a little extension. You go past the oil dipstick right there. You put it right on. Go to Harbor Freight, get you one of these electric ratchets, save you a lot of time. It doesn't hurt anything because it doesn't have enough torque. I'm going to reverse this, and I'm going to get another extension over here so I can reach it. Now it's longer. Now I'm going to fit it right between the two right here. Move this little AC line out of the way a little bit. Let's see. Got to get the sweet spot. If not, we're going to go to a longer one. You just got to get the sweet spot of the extension you need, and voila. And the thing I like about these ratchets, you can actually ratchet them. And you start by hand, just a tad bit, lefty-loosey. Now I'm going to press the button. It comes right out. You lift it out of the way. You come down here, and please do this with a cold engine. You don't want to burn yourself. So I'm spinning it out by hand. I'm going to go from the other angle. You can see my hand. I'm spinning it out. Comes in my hand, and you can see how terrible that looks. That has not been done. And all you have to do is go to one of the boxes, open it up, and I repeat, do not do this on a hot engine. This is aluminum. You do not want to do that. And also it will burn you. So now I'm going to take this back off, and you start it by hand. You don't just go cranking because you're cross-threaded. Cross-threading is, instead of going straight, you're doing like this, and you're destroying everything. And then you'll be doing the plugs inside the engine too. They're coils. Okay, so I'm going to spin it by hand. It's a little tricky because I don't have too much room. And as you know, if it did, it'll stay by itself. And then I'm going to come by here, and I'm going to start this by hand. If it goes in easy, I'm in the right place. If it goes in hard, that means I am cross-threading. I do not ever want to do that. As you can see, it's nice and firm. Now I'm going to take this ratchet. It does not have very much torque at all. That's why I use it. Everybody does everything differently. And then now I'm going to go back on top of it. And when it stops, you stop. And you stop. The very next one, the spark plugs have long threads. That's why I took a couple seconds. So now the easiest way of doing this without confusing yourself is to come out here and find you a wire that's almost that, excuse me, that is the exact same length. And there we go. The only difference between this wire and that wire, it doesn't have this little piece that makes no difference. You just pull it off. You do one at a time so you won't be confusing yourself. And all you have to do, it's not rocket scientist, you just push this back in till it locks in. Hear that little snap? I'm sorry, I got it backwards. A little snap. And then you come right over here and you put it back the way it was, and this little thing is holding them. Come right over here and you push it down till you hear a snap. There's your little snap. Pull it off, you're gonna hear a snap. Here's your snap. We're gonna do one more in the back, and it's the exact same thing. It's just a little bit more work. So you come back here, especially do it on a cold engine, because now you have your exhaust sitting right here in the exact same way, but you can't hardly see. You take the exact same tool, you come back here. If this was hot, I could not do this. This goes to the exhaust. That's another reason why you keep it nice and cold. It's very hard to see back here, but it's the same thing that's in the front. And all you have to do is find the sweet spot, get a hold of it. Let's see. You twist it back and forth until it comes off. It just takes a little bit more time because you're in the back. There we go. Twist it back and forth, and then you pull up. A little bit more exertion because you can't really see, but it's the same concept. As you can see, I pulled it right off. If you try to pull this by hand, these two are going to be separate, and now you got this stuck on the spark plug, and it's just more work for you. And all you do, like I said, you do one at a time. You follow this spark plug wire, which is right here, and that's the one you're going to be working on. Then you come in the back, same concept. You find out which one is the best one for you, which is probably going to be this one. You put it on the exact same way you did in the back. You feel for it. And this is another reason why you don't want this hot, because while you're filling, there's an exhaust waiting on you to burn you. So, you just got this one. And exactly what I said happened. There's a piece stuck on back there that broke. That's why I couldn't get the socket back there, so I got to pull that piece off. And that's what I was talking about it falling apart on you. You're replacing it. It is what it is. And you just have to get a hold of that piece and yank it off. Not use a different pair of pliers. And there it is. That piece was actually inside here. That's the piece that was stuck. And that's how you know that there's a piece stuck on it also, you can't get your socket on it. So now we're gonna go back the exact same way. I'm kind of glad that it happened, so you know exactly what to do. All I did is grab that little piece right here, and it was stuck on the spark plug like that, and it was inside of the wire. The wire goes right here and it clamps on, and what I did is I grabbed that because you can't get the spark plug socket on it if there's something in its way. Now I should be able to go back down here very easily, take the spark plug socket, do just like that, take my ratchet, put it in reverse. That direction is tightening it, lefty, righty tighty, lefty loosey. So I'm going to reverse it. This tool does the exact same thing a regular socket does. Wrench, I'm sorry. You just reverse it that way, but I'm doing the job a lot faster. This will save you a lot of time. This is about 60, 70, 80 bucks at Harbor Freight. It will save you a lot of time and make your life a lot easier. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to get it on there. I don't have enough ratcheting room, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this a little longer so we can have ratcheting room, and you can see how you adapt to different things with different extensions. You know, what you want to do is get high enough that you can twist the ratchet. Even if you did it with a wrench, you still got to do the same thing. So I'm going to turn it in a way that I have enough room to ratchet this to get it started. And I still can't do it, so I'm going to have to go just a tad bit higher, or I'm going to start it with a wrench, and then I'll be able to ratchet it off. And the reason why I'm doing it with the wrench is because how small that is, and the thickness is not as thick, so I'll have more room to do my ratcheting. I like to have both tools on hand to do what needs to be done. Okay, so now we're going to use the ratchet. As you can see, I have plenty of room because it's thicker, thinner. All I'm going to do is get it started. I got it started. Take this off. Now let the tool do all the work. As you can see, that's it. And all you do is pull this back off, pull this off, take your hand and spin the rest. If you drop anything, this magnet, if I drop this socket, the spark plug right here on accident, or back there, you can't see it or you can't get to it, you just take this little big magnet and you go like that. You're going to drop stuff. So I'm going to come back here, I'm going to spin it with hand. If it was hot, you could not do this. You'll be burning yourself, because right now I'm touching the exhaust. And here's your old spark plug, and everything's in reverse. You can stop.